Hi, I'm Joe Audette, and welcome to another installment of THC 101. I'm joined today with Joe Stremcha, our Assistant City Administrator, and Elizabeth Sage, our resident certified Ganjier. I'll let her introduce herself more.
So anybody who's not familiar with what a certified Ganjier is, think of any of the gustatory arts has a representative of it. So wine has a sommelier, and beer has a cicerone, and cannabis now has certified Ganjier. And that allows me to put objective metrics to both the flavor, the aroma, the appearance, and the experience of cannabis products.
We're here today to destigmatize and educate all of our consumers, so let's get started with some of these questions.
Tell me about what you know now that you wish you knew when you first were getting into this.
I think what I always tell new consumers is start low and go slow. And I like to equate it to cutting bangs, because you can always cut your bangs more, you can never cut your bangs less. And edibles are just like that. So you can always take more if you don't have the desired experience, but once they're in your body, they're there. So start very low and go very slow, and your set and setting is really important. So if you're somebody who's not experienced with it, doing it at a big public event, probably not the place to try it, but in your home with someone that you love and trust, a very safe place to start.
So I see advertisements all over for CBD, THC, cannabis. What is the difference between those products, and how do you kind of feel your way through all of those experiences differently?
Well, the good news is that it's all cannabis, and that's where it gets really confusing to people, because we use terms like hemp and marijuana, and at the end of the day, it's all the same plant. It's different ratios of a molecule in there. CBD helps keep the stuff that we already naturally make, our endocannabinoids like anandamide and 2-AG, in our body. And what THC does is it allows for the receptors in our brain to start unlocking and our neurons to fire differently. So the way I like to explain it to people very simply, because I know that was overly complicated, you feel CBD in your body and you feel THC in your head. But if you take CBD correctly, you actually don't feel it. What you feel is the absence of pain, because it's so great for inflammation and things like that that are chronic, but that are hard to treat very specifically.
So how do people differentiate what kind of products would help them alter those experiences, whether it be smoking or drinks or edibles? How much or how do you dial back those sensory experiences?
I think it's important to figure out what your intention is. So people come to cannabis for a lot of different reasons, and the main ones that you find are troubles with sleep, troubles with pain, anxiety, or to relax and have fun. So those four pretty much cover most of your cannabis users. So something that you would take for sleep, you're going to look for something that probably has a lower dose of THC, maybe a higher dose of CBD. Sometimes you find another minor cannabinoid called CBN. People like that for sleep. I also like natural things, chamomile, ashwagandha. I like a nighttime gummy that has other things. You can find melatonin. So really looking at it as you're not necessarily trying to get high, you're trying to help mitigate any of these symptoms while you sleep. So your intention there is just a good night's sleep. If it's anxiety, then you look for products that are geared towards that. If it's for enjoyment, that can be a different set of products. Beverages, very popular here in Minnesota. And so we find a lot of people that still want to go out, they want to be social with their friends, but they need something in their hand. They don't want to feel like the odd man out.
Elizabeth, one of the concerns I hear most frequently is how cannabis might affect family dynamics. What support systems are in place for people, and what advice would you give to families when looking at their own family dynamics?
Yeah, I think it's an important thing to look at. The same way we look at how alcohol can play a role in these things, cannabis absolutely can. And going back to the starting low, going slow, doing things in your own home, absolutely, until you have a base for it. There's definitely a subset of the population that has found a way to use cannabis to tap into some of the anxiety relief, some of the exhaustion relief, maybe getting a good night's sleep because of all of these things. And I think, while it's a real concern, anybody's use of anything, that it can actually be a really positive thing. Because I know a lot of moms who at the end of the day are overstimulated, they're overtired, and the ability to take one gummy and just kind of like focus in, it allows an opportunity to use it in a different way. And we go back to that intention each time. And so I think it can be a really powerful tool in your toolkit for navigating all of these different things.
Yeah, thank you guys both for coming in and having this conversation with us. I really think this is going to be impactful to our consumers.